The Ghana National Fire Service is cautioning factories and other critical facilities not to depend solely on fire hydrants to fight outbreaks, citing the erratic water supply from Ghana Water Limited. This follows a devastating fire that gutted a plastic processing company over the weekend at Wejakbawe. According to the fire service, the blaze took far longer to bring under control because firefighters struggled to access water. The service is therefore urging factories to provide boreholes as an essential backup for firefighting. We'll hear from the Ghana National Fire Service shortly, but first, my colleague Maxwell Klobotu was at the scene and has filed this report.
A day when workers were expecting new wages has instead been filled with bitterness and disappointment as they woke up to the heartbreaking news of a fire outbreak at Chakea, a plastic manufacturing factory in the Wejakbawe Municipal Assembly. Ajua Nkansa is a single mother.
I was in the house and there was a taxi driver who used to bring me in the morning. So he came around 5 o'clock, so your company is burning. So I thought, he used to joke with me. So I thought it was lying, so I took my everything. And I came and I saw that it's true, it was burning.
For Joyce, her story is no different. Also a mother of one, she didn't believe the news when she first heard it. She had to come see it for herself.
As single mothers, we are really tired. I woke up this morning preparing to come to work when I received the call that there had been a fire outbreak at the company. This has really disturbed us.
Edward, one of the male workers, also shared a similar story. Managing Director of Chakea Plastic Company, Hajia Gloria, says everything is gone just a few hours after celebrating her birthday.
But their fire tanker was only one, and they started by trying to quench the fire, but unfortunately it kept on spreading because there was not enough water. As you can see, everything is burnt to ashes. In fact, yesterday was my birthday, so we were trying to, so the evening section had a free day.
As the smoke settles over Chakea, dozens of workers, many of them single mothers, are left staring at an uncertain future.
Joining us via Zoom is the Greater Accra Regional Fire Commander of the Ghana National Fire Service, ACFO2, Rashid Nsao. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Commander, what's the update on the investigation into the cause of the inferno, this particular one?
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your cherished viewers. As it stands, we've deployed intelligence on the ground to gather intelligence on the cause of the fire. But as you know, no fire that has erupted that the victims will openly come out and tell you what they were doing or what happened before the fire erupted. So we need to go underground to uncover all fire victims. No fire victim will come voluntarily and tell you what he or she did wrong for the fire to come to occur. Because you bear with me that if all things were equal and everything was okay, this factory wouldn't have been razed down by fire. So as it stands, I've deployed intelligence on the ground, and very soon, by the time we complete our fire report, we'll have unraveled the circumstances leading to the cause of the fire.
The managing director of the place says that the fire service came with just one water source, one water tanker. If this is the case, then it will mean that, is it the fact that we didn't have enough tankers to deploy, or it was genuinely the case of Ghana Water not supplying water? What's the real situation?
So what she just said, I was listening to her, tells you that unfortunately she didn't go through the rudiments of the establishment of a factory. Because indeed, you have established a factory, you have gone through the procedures for the establishment of the factory, you will know that it is a requirement in line with provision in LI 1724, Fire Precaution Premises Regulations 2003. You are enjoined by law to provide a fire hydrant right there for firefighting purposes, but because you have to foresee that these things are things that are likely to occur. So the lawmakers of this Republic of Ghana, since as far back as 2003, foresaw that one day there could be fires in factories, and for that matter, have made it a mandatory requirement that you should have a dedicated hydrant for fighting fire, and that will be a source of what? Water for firefighting. So if she said that we came there with only one truck, yes, if the car arrives, the idea is that the tender cannot carry water and fight fire for good 8 hours, from 03:27 hours to the time we extinguish it at 11:02 hours. There is no car in this world that can carry water to that extent. So it presupposes that we were expecting that that factory will have a dedicated hydrant that we can connect to. As we are discharging from what we brought, we'll be refilling from the hydrant. And it was because of lack of water at the factory, we had to call in for assistance. Medina came in, Wager was there, industrial area was there. We called, I was the one calling the cars. I called as many as 8 fire engines, called the regional coordinating director, got a tanker from the regional coordinating council, called the MCE for Wager, got one tanker from the Wager Municipal Assembly. These people are all living witnesses that you can inquire. So they have to, those people who want to be in business should know that Ghana National Fire Service should be seen as a partner in development, that they can contact us to show them what to do to preserve and protect their investments.
What's the enforcement measures? Of course, this is enjoined by law, as you have just been saying. What's the enforcement measures?
So now that this thing has occurred, even before this, you see, I have gathered some statistics in the last quarter, and I've realized that most of these fires that we are getting is occurring from other warehouses or factories. If you give me 1 minute, the Kumasi fire started in a warehouse. The China City started in a warehouse. The one that we had just the Saturday was in a factory. The one behind in the premises of Dignitary Do the Right Thing started in the warehouse. The Kantamanto one started in a warehouse. I can go on and on and on. So because of that, I have already sent out letters to the my district fire commanders to serve factories and serve businesses and warehouses around that environment, so that we will come around, do fire risk assessment, do recommendations, give them recommendations on what to do. Those that do not have hydrants, those do not have assembling points. And it would to interest you to know that some of these businesses even exist without fire certificates, so that we'll take them on and make sure that their investment is protected.
Now, also finally and quickly, you're requesting that companies and factories such as this one would have a water source, borehole, and the likes?
Yeah, I suggested this because, you see, you can bear with me, you are a Ghanaian, I'm also a Ghanaian. Water, even to wash at home and cook, sometimes is a problem, because you open your taps, the water is not flowing. Why? Because Ghana Water Company, for whatever reasons, cannot supply you water. And if this happens and your hydrant is connected, normally hydrants are connected on Ghana Water Company water mains. So if it's connected to water mains and the taps are not flowing, it presupposes that when we open the hydrant at that point in time, we will not get water for firefighting. So because of that, as a plan B, my advice to business owners, factories and other people who have investments to protect against fire, they should construct boreholes, mechanize these boreholes, contact us, we tell them, show them what to do, so that we can access water for firefighting purposes 24 hours, 7 days in a week.
Okay.
And the supply of water will not even be relied on by Ghana Water Company. That is my advice.
Thank you so much for joining us on the news this afternoon.